Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and asked yourself, where is all my money going? That's exactly where Sarah found herself one fateful evening after losing her job. Sarah, a newlywed with 2 children from a previous marriage, had built her family's life around a dual-income household. When she was unexpectedly laid off, the financial stability she had taken for granted crumbled overnight. Mortgage payments loomed large, car loans stacked up, and credit card debt became an unrelenting shadow. Panic set in. But it was that moment of crisis that forced Sarah and her husband, John, to finally confront the reality of their spending habits. Sarah's turning point came when she realized her household was drowning in debt, not because of extraordinary misfortune, but because of everyday decisions, the unnecessary upgrades, the financed cars, and the illusion of manageable payments. They sat down with the cold numbers and understood the extent of their financial vulnerability. Their first step? Adopting a strict zero-based budget. Every dollar was assigned a purpose, from covering essentials to chipping away at debt. Within 2 years, Sarah and John eliminated all debts except their mortgage and saved $12,000 in an emergency fund. They transitioned from fear to freedom, proving that drastic situations demand equally drastic action. The first step to fixing your money problems, the book reminds us, is realizing that you are the problem. So how does one break free like Sarah did? The answer lies in starting small. Begin with a budget that matches your income and keep emergency savings to weather sudden storms. This isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. But as Sarah's story concludes, you might wonder, what happens when you think you've mastered the system? Not everyone realizes they're stuck until it's too late. Mike, a high school coach, thought his financial troubles were under control until his wife Kelly handed him a copy of this very book for Father's Day. At the time, they had $16,000 in debt alongside a $6,000 savings cushion. Like many, they believed that maintaining some savings while carrying debt was a reasonable strategy. What changed their perspective was the debt snowball method they discovered. Could they afford to take $5,000 out of their savings to attack their smallest debt first? It seemed counterintuitive at first, yet as they watched their smallest debts vanish one by one, their motivations skyrocketed. They sold unused belongings, cut discretionary expenses, and used every spare dollar to fuel the snowball. By sticking to this disciplined approach, they managed to clear all their consumer debt in just 10 months. Mike and Kelly didn't just pay off debt. They regained control over their financial future, proving that even seemingly small actions compound into life-altering results. You can't solve a problem with the same behavior that created it, as the book emphasizes. Their breakthrough leads to another crucial realization. True financial freedom isn't about avoiding disasters, but embracing opportunity. So how does one transition from survival to thriving? Chris's story is a testament to preparedness meeting opportunity. After diligently following these principles for years, Chris found himself debt-free with a substantial emergency fund. When his boss walked into his office one day with bad news, a layoff, Chris didn't react with panic. Instead, he smiled, hugged his boss, and asked about the severance package. That moment, Chris's preparation turned what could have been a devastating setback into a launching pad for his dreams. Using his $70,000 severance, he started his own business, eventually doubling his previous income. Chris's secret wasn't just the absence of debt. It was his ability to think long-term. By sticking to the principles of living below his means and building a financial cushion, he created the freedom to seize opportunities that others might have missed. As the book puts it, it's not what happens to you that will define your financial life. It's how you prepare for it. These stories of transformation share one common thread. Change is always possible when you confront hard truths, commit to better habits, and stick with them long enough to see results. Whether it's Sarah discovering budgeting as her salvation, Mike and Kelly finding empowerment through the debt snowball, or Chris seizing opportunity because of his foresight, each of these journeys demonstrates the value of clarity, discipline, and intentional living.